Hey, good morning, y'all. Hey, couldn't start this video until I got my coffee, so we're good now.
3, 2, 1, let's kick off the Geico Bassmaster Classic.
That's what you do in the first thing in the morning on the Bassmaster Classic.
16 pounds and 2 ounces. The Hack Attack whacks them on day number 1.
Alright, I'm going to say it in every video. Thank you to the military. Thank you to the men and women who serve and protect this country. With that being said, shout out to my brother who's stationed in Kodiak, Alaska. Alright, so what are we drinking? Knob Creek 100 Proof. It's pretty good. Alright, so now we got our drink presented by Glock. I'm kidding. I'm good at it, but I'm kidding. Let me recap last video's drink of choice, which I didn't cover, but I shared with y'all. The Maker's 46. It's my favorite. Alright, so now we've covered our whiskey. Let's get into this video.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Alright, for everyone that saw my last video, Lake Cherokee, I gave my prediction. You know, I'm not gonna go back on my word and say, you know, I wish I didn't pick him, or I really didn't want to pick him. I'm not gonna do that. What I am gonna do is show you this clip. And Jacob Wheeler, you know, this will be his first season on the Elites. I'm confident he's got what it takes, but I'm ready to see himself. I'm ready to see him prove himself. I've been waiting for him to move up here for a while. I followed him on the FLW tour. He's a good guy. So yeah, you know, here's the deal. A lot of you are thinking, CollinsOutdoors, you put the same clothes on, you know, you recreated that video and made yourself sound pretty smart. Well, that's not the case. And I'm not showing you that clip to prove that, hey, I know everything. That's not the case. The truth is, I think Jacob Wheeler is an amazing angler, and that's not going to be the last tournament he wins. I guarantee it. Lake Cherokee wasn't the slugfest that I predicted, but it was a great tournament. So let's dive in a little bit into what happened and what the result was. First off, huge shout out and congratulations to Jacob Wheeler. That was an amazing performance. He fished Saturday without his boat. He pulled out the rule book and he found out he can fish with another angler, and he did, and he continued to keep his lead. Let's get into a little bit of what he did and kind of the top 10, and let's look back and see how they broke down the lake and see how it compared to my prediction. I'll admit I was off. I didn't take into account the finesse techniques that were involved in smallmouth fishing, which is kind of dumb on my part, because when I fish smallmouth lakes in my area, I have to use those techniques because a jerkbait, the lakes aren't deep enough to have suspended schools where I can use a jerkbait. Jacob Wheeler was fishing a finesse swimbait, or a finesse bait fish presentation, which in East Tennessee they call the Demiki rig. And they knew exactly where these fish were, at what depth, and they throw this rig down there and let it just fall through the bait fish. And it is what it sounds like. It's a dying bait fish presentation that falls right in front of their face. They're lethargic. It takes nothing to eat a dead bait fish for them. So it was key to the tournament, and hands down to Jacob for picking up on it and capitalizing on it So, but yeah, I mentioned Octafo, and he ended up pulling through. He made top 10. So, shout out to Ott. He did great on his hometown lake. I'm sure he had a lot of friends there. But and then my man Bill Lowen, you know, he made top 30, which is awesome. You know, 110 boats I think took off on Thursday. So that's quite the feat for from a wild card. Let's get into Lake Okeechobee. I mean, that's why you're all here, right? Let's do it. Stop number 2, Bassmaster Elite Series 2017. Bass obviously knows what they're doing, okay? I think it was 2012 they set this same tournament up, and almost 110 pounds of fish were caught by one man in 4 days, okay? You do the math. Some fish are going to be spawning, some fish are going to be post-spawn. And you know, the good Lord above, he may have some fish pre-spawn. You never know. That's the beautiful thing about nature, is not all bass spawn at the same time. So in tournaments like Okeechobee, you can target both spawn and post spawn, and that's what's going to be. That's what the guys are going to be doing. Spawning bass, just like most typical fish, are going to move shallow and find a hard bottom in clear, calm water. That's ideal spawning conditions. Okeechobee doesn't have a lot of hard bottom, so local anglers will be able to key into those hard bottom areas. But Lake Okeechobee is constantly changing. You have hurricanes, you have high winds, high tide. It's always changing. So these spawning areas that they were fishing in 2012, I guarantee are not the same areas that they're going to be fishing this weekend. There will be bass spawning in 20 to 25 feet of water on hard bottom, under vegetation. Some of the keys for success, in my personal opinion, is going to be small areas of hard bottom, whether that's roots, sand, rock if you can find it. I don't even know if they have any, but something where the eggs can attach to, and then have that clear, calm water. I'm not necessarily going to be looking at the weather the day of the tournament or the current weather conditions. I'm going to be looking more at the weather the night before the tournament. Is it a warm night? Is it a cool night? Is there a cold front moving through? You got a warm evening the night before. The bite is going to be on first thing in the morning. Spawning bass are not feeding. They're not eating. They're doing one thing and one thing only: reproducing. These anglers are going to be targeting these large females on beds in these spawning areas who are protecting their fry. And they're going to be using all sorts of baits. You know, a lot of guys say the color of the bait doesn't matter in the spawn as long as you can see the bait. I agree to an extent. Me personally, I'm not going to throw a pink worm. I just don't have any confidence in it. I'm going to throw what I'm comfortable with and what I have confidence in. Missile baits, I love them. They're my favorite soft plastic. Go get you some. They're seriously soft. No, but seriously, this is their new stick bait. It's called the 48. It's awesome. I think a lot of guys, I honestly think some guys are going to be throwing this. This will also be thrown not only on beds, but this will be punched through mats looking for those post-spawn bass. Let's talk post-spawn fish. My opinion, I'm not a Florida angler, but you know, stick with me. These fish are going to be moving out of spawning areas, spawning pockets, spawning canals, and they're not going to be moving very far. They're going to be moving to somewhere with cover near deep water, and most likely a little bit dirtier water. They're going to begin to school up and work together to start feeding again, and that's when you can get some of them big females to come out and start munching. It all works together. You find the bait fish, you find out where the bait fish are, you find out where the bass are. Okay, so they're going to be using these canals for spawning fish and post-spawn fish. How exactly is this all going to play out? I don't know. Don't count out the frog. I mean, it's going to be thrown. I don't know how productive it's going to be in late February. I personally don't know. But I would throw it. Frogs catch big fish, and you need big fish to win. So let me show you this bait. It's one of my favorites. Another presentation that I think we're going to see this weekend is going to be a swim bait, like a Kitech or the new Gary Yamamoto hardtail. I think a lot of guys are going to be targeting these fish on the edge of grass lines with these swim baits. It's a popular technique down there. Burning these swim baits. I don't know exactly if they're still going to be burning them, real fast, but I know they're going to be using them to target those fish on the outside of those grass lines. Another one that we use around here in the Midwest in that same scenario, post-spawn and all the way through the spawn, really, pre-spawn, post-spawn, is a rattle trap or a lipless crankbait, and just ripping it through that grass. It's time to make my pick for Lake Okeechobee. We'll do the let's do the top 5, and then we'll do a wild card. So yeah, we'll start at the bottom. We'll pick number 5. So Chris Lane, he's a power fisherman. I think he's got a solid chance to win, and that's why he's on my team this week. Not necessarily picking him because he's done well there before, but the way he fishes, the way he attacks tournaments is very aggressive, and I personally couldn't fish like that, but he does, and this is the lake to do it at. So yeah, he's on my team. Number 4 is one of my favorites. I like to follow him and keep up with his points throughout the year, and that's Randy Howe. This guy's just a stand-up guy. I really respect him and got a lot of love for him. He knows what's important when it comes to life, and that's the good Lord above. I like that about him. So my man Randy Howe, he's a good sight fisherman. He's smart. He's very smart, and I think he's going to key into these. I think he can key into where these fish are early on. Okay, pick number 3, the Big Show. Yeah, Terry Scroggins. I might have butchered his last name. I'm not sure, but the Big Show. Yeah, he's known for catching large fish down in Okeechobee. I'm gonna go with Randall Tharp, number 2. I don't know. I wasn't gonna go with him number 1, but it just came out. So I'm gonna stick with Randall, number 2. Great local angler. He's top pick for this tournament for good reasons. I'm gonna go with Ish Monroe. I think he's probably done the most homework. He's probably done the most homework there. He's a great sight fisherman. So yeah, I'm 100% comfortable picking Ish Monroe to win Lake Okeechobee this weekend. Is it a very stereotypical pick? Yes. Will I regret it? Maybe. All right, so my wild card. Yeah, it's Justin Lucas. He didn't have a good showing at Lake Cherokee. That's all right. Is he out of the points? I don't know. Haven't worried about that too much. Great fisherman, excellent sight fisherman, and he's got a good shot at this at this tournament. He really does. All right, y'all. I think I'm gonna call tonight. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you learned something, and I hope you guys are continuing to follow the Elite series. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and give me a thumbs up if you like the video. With that being said, I'll see you on the next stop, Lake Conroe, Bassmaster Classic 2017, and we'll see you next time. And one more thing, I haven't looked in a while, a few days, but I was at over 3,000 views on my last video. Guys, that is amazing.